Okay, welcome everyone to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything, but actually we know nothing. In 2009, Alex Ferguson was asked if Man City will ever go into a Manchester derby as favourites, and he replied, "Not in my lifetime." During the match, we actually saw that he was still alive, so I think you can see he was wrong on that. Yeah, Manchester City blew Manchester United away 6-3. The Manchester City perspective first. I guess you can't really say you're surprised with Erling Haaland's ability to score goals, but maybe Phil Foden with his first ever hat-trick.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't see the hype around Phil Foden, even after the hat-trick.
Okay. Is this you doubling down?
Ooh. No, I don't know. It just never like stood out to me. Like the only hype, I keep seeing Pep hyping him up since like a few years back, but like before this season, he was a bit of like a big part player in the role, so like not really like a key player. And even when he played, he didn't really score a lot of goals. So I don't know, maybe there's something different this season. Don't see how he stands out especially within that squad with so many other good players. Yeah, but for Erling Haaland, it's like quite insane. I didn't expect him to score a hat-trick. We're gonna be saying that every week. He's just gonna score like hat-tricks every week.
Well, I mean, it has been 3 consecutive home games. He's got hat-tricks already, now up to 14 goals. At this rate in which he's scoring, he will end up with 76 goals at the end of the season. Pretty sure he won't. How many goals do you think he will get?
I think he can get, walao, let's say 34. I think you get 20 more goals this season.
34.
If he stays injury-free, yeah, that's the key.
Kind of pessimistic.
Yeah, I taper it first.
Okay.
I don't dare to imagine a 40-goal Premier League alone season. That's insane. I mean, it's a combination of Man U switching off. I don't know what happened to Man U. They were really not up for it today, even though they were playing like the same team that beat Arsenal and I think Liverpool. Yeah, so Man City was so damn good. And United's mistake to let De Bruyne have so much bloody space in the middle. Then Haaland is always going to raid any defense. Like De Bruyne had too much time to pick him out, like every single time. The scary thing is that every attack City had, right, they look like they're gonna score. So it's like a damn good game for neutrals.
I think I predicted a 2-0 because I thought Man U would pull a better challenge in this. Yeah, so but then 6 goals is kind of surprised. But then from what I watched, I didn't really watch. From what I heard, I think it could have been more than that. And then Man U were even lucky to score 3 goals. I didn't watch the second half. Or I didn't watch the whole game actually. Yeah, so I don't know whether Man U played well in the second half or did Man City just drop down, make Man U seem good by the scoreline, you know what I mean? Not very sure.
I mean, some delusional or very overly optimistic Man U fans will say at least they won the second half. Have to ask England, can you really, is that a positive that Man U fans can take out of it, or is it a case of Man City just like, you know what, they were already 6-1 up, whatever?
Yeah, I think they already 6-1 up, and then they sort of just switched off, and they had a lot of substitutions. So I think those were sort of consolation goals. Even like Man City themselves didn't really seem to be bothered too much by the goals. Yeah, it's like, to them it's just like, okay, goals and goals, but they weren't really like fighting to keep the ball or anything. Yeah, so I think it's just all negatives for Man U.
Okay.
I don't see like any positives at all. Usually you'll say like maybe De Gea would have like a couple of good saves, but I think he didn't even manage at this game. So really no positives, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you did also mention at the end of the game, like 6-3 kind of like actually didn't seem like that bad of a scoreline for Man U, but I guess that's more of an indication of how far they've fallen now. 6-3 is an alright result. Yeah.
I mean, initially it was supposed to be 6-1. So judging by the scoreline and by the standards that Man U set, I mean, last season Liverpool back then like 5-0, 4-0 for like both games or something. So this is like relatively tame really, especially with two Man City players scoring hat-tricks. You assume that the scoreline will be more than a 3-goal difference.
That's true.
So yeah, but it's like all Man City's fault for they parking too much in the second half.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, at 75 minutes, they're throwing on kids already and all that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get that obviously at that point, the game is already done. Obviously, Man U not going to come back from that kind of scoreline. But even then, I don't know. Maybe you can ask Robin, is this something maybe is this overly critical to say Man City shouldn't be exactly happy how they totally handled the game towards the end?
Yeah, I think so. If you want to be truly professional about it, they should have kept a clean sheet lah, because they were that dominant and United showed nothing throughout the whole game. But I don't blame them for taking the foot off the gas a little bit. Just letting their minds, I think, relax a bit, not staying focused the whole game. I think part of their mind is probably focused on Champions League coming up next. So I don't blame them. It's such a big cushion. There's no way they were going to lose or even draw the game.
Start with the Man United inquest. First, we start a little bit with a less serious question. I have to ask Robin. Harry Maguire must be pretty happy with himself. He wasn't involved in this car crash of a performance.
Yeah, I think he damn hate to avoid this. Imagine if he started, it could have been 10.
Also, you think it would be worse?
I'm quite sure it'll be worse. He's trash. I'm sure he will concede a penalty against Haaland if he played.
Before this game, we were a little bit scared that Man United on the up and all that. I did ask Imran are you scared that maybe this is Man U's we're finally back kind of thing. I guess this result kind of lays that to rest lah.
I don't know. Feels like Man City also not a good marker for them because they were expected to lose. Would have been something if they won. But losing it's sort of meh. They were already expected to lose. And I don't know if the magnitude of the loss will affect anything. Because eventually, at the end of the day, a loss is still a loss. It's just 3 points. If they bounce back in the next game, then it's this game is really not very relevant.
Looking forward, Manchester United are away to Everton. Maybe can ask Imran, do you feel maybe there's any confidence here that Man U can bounce back maybe against a side that's not Man City?
Yeah, I think especially against Everton, it's quite I would say quite an easy opponent now. It's completely doable for Man U to win them. I mean, they've been even when they've been doing well, Everton, they've sort of been scraping through, right? Not really doing well this season or just barely scraping through with 1 goal. So I think it's a good game for Man U to go into after the Man City game. A good game for them to show that the previous game was sort of a fluke. I mean, not really a fluke, but they're not at that level yet, but they're also not as bad as the results suggest. So I think it's a good game for them to bounce back. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure maybe Robin will have a bit of a different opinion. This is Everton at their peak form. If there's such a thing after 8 games. They are now unbeaten in 6. Back-to-back wins after 4 draws. Your boy Frank Lampard, I think can see is now no longer as much under pressure anymore. Do you think maybe Everton can spring a surprise here?
Yeah, I think there's a potential for them to do that. Although it's probably quite unlikely. I still have doubts over how potent they are in attack. But I think they are really performing much better. I mean, they did very well against Liverpool to draw. So I don't think they are that bad anymore as compared to the end of last season where a lot of us thought Frank Lampard would get sacked because of this. So somehow he's turned the corner and they seem to be doing well. Although recently, who they played? Southampton, right? That they won. So it's a bit of a kind of easy team, I guess. So I wouldn't write Everton off so quickly. I think they still got some potential, even though I think they got some injury to their young right back, was it? What's his name? Patterson. Yeah. Who's been starting a lot. So they bring in the old man back, right? Like Seamus Coleman. So that could be a weak link. I don't know. But I think Everton got potential, but they'll struggle to score as always.
Okay. Maybe we can start with Manjun in terms of Everton Man U. Prediction for this.
I think it'll be low scoring. Weirdly enough, right? I think Everton, they conceded the fewest goals in the league so far. Only 7 goals, in 8 games.
Oh,
so that's weird. I don't recall them
Wow.
being so good defensively.
Are you
But
sure?
yes,
Less than... Okay, that's true. Man City.
yeah, they scored 7, but they conceded only 7 in 8 fucking games. Yeah,
Okay.
so not too bad. I'll probably go for a draw here. They may Everton can do some magic again, like they did against Liverpool.
Okay.
Could we go for 0-0?
I think go for Man U to bounce back 1-0.
Yeah, same. I'll go for a hard-fought Man U win 1-0.
Much as I don't like to say also, I think this is where Everton haven't been convincing. I think this is where Everton will probably lose. Valiant effort from them, but they lose 1-0 also to Man U. both Erling Haaland and Phil Foden having hat-tricks against Manchester United. Only the third time ever that two players has got hat-tricks against an opposition. The other two times, Arsenal had two players score hat-tricks against Southampton. Those were Jermaine Pennant and Robert Pires. Leicester also had two players score hat-tricks, also against Southampton, Jose Perez and Jamie Vardy. So just like Manchester City are now up against Southampton.
In.
Obviously, you have to ask Manjun, will it happen again?
No lah, I don't think so lah. I think this game probably shouldn't inflate the scoreline lah. I think it'll be quite disappointing.
Oh, is it?
Don't know why these games, yeah. I gotta give like a very nominal 2-0 win lah to Man U. And to Man U, to Man City.
Yeah, they wish. Okay, Robin.
Let's just go for the damn record lah. Haaland get another hat trick. Let's go 3-0.
And that would mean the 4 hat-tricks in a row. Okay, that's just insane. But okay, yeah. And,
okay lah. I think probably not gonna be another hat trick, but I think Haaland will still score 1 goal. I think, but other people are gonna score the rest. So I think 2-0 to Man City.
okay.
A conservative score. I mean, I don't know. Southampton has been defending well, I guess. I see their past few games they've been losing by 1 goal only, 0-1, 0-1, those kind of scores.
Okay, fair enough. I think Southampton sort of a bit more conservative now. Yeah, but I'm still gonna think Man City still score 3. Yeah, maybe not an Erling Haaland hat trick now. That'll be a bit much. That's like what 17 goals after 9 games. Okay, yeah, but in terms of just one bit of mention for Southampton, even though Hasenhüttl is a bit under pressure, they lost limply against Everton. Southampton did have their own piece of history. They started 5 players with double-barreled names. That's a record. So that's a stat probably Manju is quite happy to hear.
Oh shit, you're right.
Can you name the 5 players?
James Ward-Prowse, Kyle Walker-Peters, Bella Kocha. Is it that freaking Croatian? Is it freaking Croatian dude?
Yeah, it's the Croatian dude.
The dude. Yeah, I don't know lah. Who else is there?
And Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Maitland-Niles, he's at Southampton, man. Since when the fuck?
Yeah.
I thought he's still at Arsenal.
They saw that he had a double barrel name, we must take him in also. Yeah, I mean, there was another derby that was pretty feisty also this weekend. Arsenal won the North London derby 3-1 against Spurs to remain top of the table. 7 wins in 8, unbelievably. The last time they had this good of a start in the season, they finished 2nd, so no guarantees. But they've now crossed the 20-point barrier after 8 games. No team that has had more than 20 points after 8 games has finished outside the top 4. So have to ask Robin, feeling scared now that Arsenal have had such a good start?
Quite. They are playing really, really well. I have to give them credit. They are super potent in attack. Defensively, somehow, Saliba is damn solid. So yeah, the whole team is playing really good. Very few weak links, or even if they are, not being exploited. So if they keep injury free, I think it's an easy top 4 for us now, like confirm. It's just who doesn't make it, right? It could be Chelsea or they like that at this rate. Quite scary.
But in terms of asking Imran, every week we'll ask this until one day maybe he changes his mind. Still convinced by Arsenal?
Yeah, I think don't have to ask me every week. I think after this week, I think they are like serious. I don't know whether title contenders but like definitely top 4 lah. I think maybe this season they can be considered a real deal, but I don't think they are title challengers yet. Still.
Okay.
Still expect them to taper off at some point. I don't know. Feel like they're just riding the momentum. But still have to come down eventually. But I mean, they're still playing at a good standard, and they will still continue to play at a good standard. But that's the thing. I think it's like Man City is just so imperious this past few years. It's like a bit hard to see anyone go up against them.
It's Arsenal versus Liverpool this weekend. Arsenal have 2 times as many points as Liverpool. That's kind of a damning stat in itself.
It's at Anfield, is it?
No, it's at Emirates.
Damn it.
Okay.
I mean, I still don't see us losing. But probably another draw lah. Screw it, Liverpool drawing every game recently.
I'm very disappointed with the Spurs team. Why they didn't put up a stronger fight against Arsenal. I think Arsenal didn't really feel much threatened by Spurs in the whole game. They had a relatively easy game, if I have to be quite honest. for what is supposed to be a proper London derby, a very fierce one. Yeah, like Spurs didn't really do anything. Like Son couldn't do anything. Richarlison was nothing. Yeah, really quite a lame game lah. Then that fella got sent off, also didn't help. Well, Emerson, right? That guy. Stupid challenge.
It's okay. I think Spurs fans also referring to him as that fella nowadays.
That's why, like, once the red card came, then like, wow, it's gone already. But you expect a bit more steel from a Conte team. Like, that man still can fight one, but like they totally just damage limitation after that. So
a bit disappointing to see.
Very, very disappointing game. Yeah.
Definitely didn't live up to the billing. So Arsenal fans, that's the reason why this is second in order. If it was a better game, it would be first. But yeah, I have to ask Manjun, now that Arsenal next game against Liverpool, can you say this is now their first? Maybe some people will say, okay, Spurs didn't really turn up on the day for the North London derby. Can you say Liverpool, even in this iteration, is a proper test for Arsenal?
I mean, it will always be a test. I think regardless of what form Liverpool is in, it will always be a test. Yeah. Just that it might not be the biggest of like the most like extreme high level Man City level kind of test right now, given the form they're in. Still a test nonetheless. Maybe 75% of what a Man City will bring, I would think.
Okay. I mean, I guess now it's time to talk a little bit about Liverpool's woes. I mean, they did draw 3-3 against Brighton. They did go 2-0 behind. And at one point, it looked like they were going to lose. I guess you can say it was good that they came back. They got the lead. But, towards the end, they did lose it to a Leandro Trossard hat-trick. He's the first Brighton player to score any hat-trick in the Premier League. Got the Roberto de Zerbi era off to a good start. Have to ask Imran, what do you think the issue is with Liverpool though? Like, they've been very poor starters. Like, they've gone behind 9 out of the last 11 games.
Honestly, I have no idea there. Like, the games I watched, it's like they haven't been playing well for a long time, but somehow they have been managing to like scrape wins throughout like the whole of last season. Always getting that 1-0 win. So I guess the difference now is that the defense isn't doing very well. I don't know, feels like it just so happens that all the players are off form at the same time. And then can't really blame injuries, even though there are like some injuries, but I don't think it's enough to destabilize the team so much. I think it's a combination of that and it's just that maybe the midfield not as young anymore, so the players the defense aren't as protected, and then form, like none of the players are on form, I think. Yeah, so and then I think that can snowball very quickly. It's like the momentum, but the reverse one. When you're not doing well, then suddenly you start questioning yourself, then you lose confidence. So it's like sort of like a downward spiral for Liverpool's defense. Yeah, but at least, I mean, on the bright side, they've been scoring goals, which is a good thing, because I think at the start of the season, they also had like some trouble doing that. So now it's like, okay, just have to fix the defense and then see where we go from there.
I mean, speaking of defense also, there's been a lot of attention, of course, on Trent Alexander-Arnold, rightfully or wrongfully. I have to ask Robin, I mean, Trent is still very young. Like, what do you do with a player like that? I mean, clearly Liverpool don't really have a backup right back. I mean, so you can't really rest him also. But even if they did, is it like, should you rest him to take him out of the spotlight kind of thing? Or just play him until hopefully he just catches fire?
I think he's too good to put him out of the spotlight. Or rather, because Liverpool have no adequate replacement that's even close to Trent's level. So you have to play Trent. And he's one of the key creators in the team. Imagine if he doesn't play, then if your forward line is struggling to score goals, it's going to be trouble. So it's unfortunate that all attacks are coming down the Trent side now, because so much pressure on the fella, and he's a young guy. So I don't know if complacency has creeped into his game, being such a serial winner so young. But if anything he has to improve is obviously the defensive side of things. A few mistakes happen, but that's expected also. I think the bigger problem is the midfield, the aging midfield. I feel that is the bigger problem with Liverpool. Not so much Trent per se, although it's very fun to jump on the bandwagon and just slam the guy. Because I'm a Reece James guy, right? So,
wow, okay, suddenly this rivalry.
England.
I mean, I'll be scared if Brighton can cut Liverpool open for the first 2 goals just like that. So, I mean, if I were Liverpool, I'd be scared. Because confirm Arsenal has better firepower lah. They're freaking like Alexis McAllister and Danny Welbeck. What the heck lah? I'll go for another 3-3 lah.
I'm going to go for it. I would say Arsenal win 2-1.
I think it'll be score draw. Not 3-3. I go to 2-2.
I'm gonna go same as Robin. I think it's gonna be a 2-2. Like it's gonna be an open game, so like both sides will have chances to score.
Brighton, they will be facing Spurs.
I'll go for a Spurs win, 2-1.
I go for a draw. I go for 1-1.
I'm also going draw 1-1 also.
I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Tottenham win.
Put on LinkedIn Football Manager. No way in hell you're tasked to tank.
The whole forest on fire. Leicester 4-0.
Oh yes, I'm gonna watch Albrecht Nikata against Lion City Sailors. Can't support our ex-occupants lah. I feel a bit bad.
Damn.
What?